Greetings YouTube, welcome to God of War, and here we are in Muspelheim, and this is where you go through completing certain trials in order to unlock rewards. Now today I'm going to show you my successful attempt against the hard version of Trial 5, so this is the final trial before you go ahead and tackle the Valkyrie. And I did have a rough time with this one. You do have to have your wits about you the whole time that you're trying to complete this particular trial. The reason why this one's so tricky is you have to kill 20 enemies, as you can see on the counter there on the screen. But you have to kill all 20 without taking a single point of damage. Now, you don't get all 20 enemies at once. Instead, they spawn in waves, 4 waves to be precise. And here in wave 1, we have 1 heavy Draugr and 3 normal Draugrs for a total of 4 enemies. Now, as soon as you've killed the first wave of enemies, the next wave is going to spawn immediately. So you're not going to have very long to recompose yourself or to prepare for the next set of enemy fights. And as you can imagine, the first of the 4 waves here is the easiest of them all. So to kill these 4 mobs, the best method I found was to simply stun kill them so that you can clear them off the battlefield as quickly as possible. So there's 3 normal Draugr, as I mentioned in that first wave. They can just be stun killed pretty much immediately. The heavy one, you're better off once you stun him and grab him and throw him into the pit of lava, or just throw him over the edge of the cliff, which is what I did. Now the second wave is a lot trickier, possibly the hardest of all 4 waves if you're not paying attention, and this is what I call the projectile wave. So we have 6 enemies to take care of. That's 2 nightmares, which are the kind of flying demons that buzz around the place, and 4 projectile Draugr, which means you're going to have projectiles and spells being cast at you from every which way. The trick to that second wave is fast kills. As soon as the first projectile Draugr spawns, kill him immediately, so then you've got less enemies to deal with, and just keep moving and dodging all over the place, because you will, as I say, have everything coming at you from every direction. So this next wave here, which starts when there are 10 enemies remaining, is the fast wave. Okay, you have fast Draugr and you have Draugrs with shields, so 4 mobs in total. And again, the trick here is to be quick. So as soon as this wave starts, run to the cave where the first 2 Draugr spawn and unleash a runic ability of some kind in order to try and stun them, freeze them, so that you can kill them very, very quickly. I was actually too far away in unleashing a runic ability when I tried to do so, so it didn't really work on this successful attempt. But fortunately, I did manage to get away with it, so it wasn't a big deal. Okay, and so the final wave is then going to begin when there are 6 enemies remaining. And this is basically a harder version of the first wave. So once again, we have Draugr and heavy Draugr, but we have more of them. So we have 4 Draugr as opposed to 3, which we had in the first wave, and 2 heavy Draugr as opposed to 1. So what I recommend on this particular final phase of the battle is to try and make sure the Draugr are gathered up all in front of you, so that you're not going to have any surprises coming in from behind, and you can keep an eye on everything that's happening. Now, don't be deceived by the fact that these are mostly slow and bulky. They can have charge attacks, and they can have wide ranges on their swing arcs. So just be cautious that, you know, if you're too close to them as they're attacking, then you are going to perhaps feel the brunt of the weapon, and of course that's going to end the battle. So what I recommend is, again, just continue dodging, use, as you have been, the boy to keep firing his arrows so that you can charge in and get the stun. One thing I haven't mentioned, which I perhaps should have done all throughout this, is that the stun kills that you do make Kratos immune while he's actually performing those. So don't have to worry about all the other enemies while you're in the middle of killing an enemy with a stun kill. So right now he's immune. Okay, and it's probably the best way to kill these guys, in my opinion. But just keep your wits about you, because even though we've only got 2 enemies left here, it's still very possible to lose, which would be really frustrating. See that swing there? I almost didn't dodge that in time, and with 1 enemy left I would have been pretty miffed if I'd failed the challenge at that point. But other than that, guys, you've just got to keep concentrating. If you need to take a pause at any point, then don't forget you can open the main menu, and that will pause the action in the background if you just need to, you know, wipe the sweat off your fingers or whatever the case may be. Then by all means go ahead and do that. Just be careful, because I do find personally that if I pause mid-action, then I can go ahead and lose concentration once I start up again. But there we have it then, guys. It's not actually a long challenge. It takes about 5 minutes. It just feels longer when you're doing it because of the stress that you're under. But once you've gone ahead and cleared all 4 waves, you can collect your reward. And then the final gate opens, which will take you to the next Valkyrie. And this video isn't actually about the Valkyrie, so I'll only be brief here, but it is a tough one, so maybe a few points will help you. The way I defeated the Valkyrie was by simply throwing the axe at it every time it flung itself into the air. Okay, so for one of its moves, it flies into the air, throw your axe at it, that will knock it down from the air, and then you can just go in for a good combo attack to get some damage in. And also, when it does its charge attack, you'll dodge that, and then it'll do a follow-up attack immediately after, where it kind of tries to slam into you. If you dodge that, that's the perfect opportunity to get another 4-hit combo in at that point, because it will be disoriented for a few seconds. But to be honest, it's a tough fight because the attacks are quite fast. But if you've done some of the other Valkyries, then it's not that much tougher than those ones, in all honesty. I'd say it's probably about average difficulty. But yeah, just use, those kind of strategies and you'll be absolutely fine. Don't forget to trigger the Mystic Gateway point as well. Okay then folks, what I would be interested in hearing is your opinions, both on God of War and this particular realm of Muspelheim. I've actually really enjoyed the fact that there's a specific realm dedicated to these kinds of trials. It's just a pretty awesome gameplay element, and some of them have been, I will be honest, quite frustrating, but also rewarding once you do go ahead and beat them. Not necessarily in the physical rewards that you get from the coffins, but just the sense of accomplishment in actually beating them. But yeah, please do share your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you've enjoyed watching my video, then do go ahead and support me by leaving a like and being subscribed to my YouTube channel. But thanks for stopping by today guys, I'll see you next time.